I'm okay.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, sure.
So Tom Min is our sister for a long, 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 long time. And Tom is my brother for a long, 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 long time,
A
who
Russian
we just met again.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes. A brother from a different mother.
Yes.
I'm not going stairs, got it to the top and it just looked wrong.
Oh, well, did you continue on? Did you come in? Or did you go back down and start over
I
again?
went down and started over.
Oh, it
again,
just
but-
comes right out over there.
Oh,
Oh.
wow. I got my cardio exercise.
There you go. Hey, Kim. You have any extra malas?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
I was leaving the house so quickly this morning, I forgot my whole bag and everything else.
If you don't mind
The
crystal.
crystal? Sure, thank you so much.
This on the cord is getting a little stretched out. Do you ever thread these or you just get them?
Yeah. You can get them, you can rethread it. Are you using a?
And, this goes with that book that you have. And here is a card for men.
So last week I brought my bell and Vajra. Forgot it this week.
You have to find your Vajra from last week?
Not yet.
Oh, boy.
It's around somewhere. Somebody must have taken it by mistake because. Okay. So where is B? There she is.
Tommy is also coming up.
Oh,
Tommy
okay,
just got
good.
here, so
Okay,
just
good.
getting him situated.
Actually, you
Okay.
can sit where Paula was sitting, because Paula's not coming
Yeah,
out.
Paulo's not coming up.
He probably went to sit on the floor though, but he can sit on the floor.
Well, there's cushions and I don't know if Curtis is coming up.
Yeah, he said he'll be just a little tad bit late.
Okay.
So if Paula's
Well,
not-
maybe Tommy would want to sit over here if he wants to sit on the floor.
Yeah, that's up to him. Spin that table around if you want.
Spin that table.
Yeah, I could recognize those socks anywhere.
All right.
That's awesome.
Hi there. How are you?
Hello, a sock aficionado.
Yeah, Curtis was sitting there. Why don't you sit over here if you don't mind? And take up some cushions and just move what you
You can
need
use
to.
that
There's a
table,
table
yeah.
right there. You can use that table. If you want to use the sofa, you can sit up there. Okay. That's
Paula was
okay.
here
Good
in
to
the
see you.
morning, but
Mhm.
she's done for now.
Okay.
This is Dorje.
That's a dorje. So dorje, a dorje is called a vajra. A vajra is in Sanskrit. Dorje is in Tibetan. And the dorje and the bell go together. And this is called a ganta in Sanskrit and a dilbu in Tibetan. We just know it as a bell. And this would be like a thunderbolt. And this represents the feminine, the masculine, indestructible wisdom. And then this represents or indestructible power, indestructible wisdom manifests. And this is the feminine wisdom itself. So the two go together. So without wisdom, you can't have skillful means. Without skillful means, you can't have wisdom. So the two go together to bring enlightenment. So
Is that what you were talking about with the gods and the wrathful demigods, that the gods have wisdom but no skillful means to do anything?
Right.
And the demigods they can do lots of things, but they don't use it wisely.
they don't have good wisdom. They're good manipulators of people. The demigods are like the titans, in industry. Just think of it as, in here and as being human beings. There are people that are great leaders. People follow them. People give them money. People give them attention and everything, but they don't use it wisely. Okay, so on this blue sheet, if we can begin, this is something to give us a context of what Bodhisattva is and what Vajrapani is. So if we can read this out loud together, we can begin. The superior qualities of Vajrapani are summarized in the following verses of prostration taken from the daily practice of this fierce meditational deity. The unified power of all the sentient beings, supreme beings, has appeared as Vajrapani, Lord of the Secret. The mere remembrance of his glorious name awakens the pure, indestructible energy and eliminates completely all negative karma, delusion, harm, and every obscuration. To the holder of the secret treasure, I prostrate. Then the essence of all of the Tattva path emerges through the following verses by the 13th Dalai Lama, in which the seeker of enlightenment is likened to a warrior, a fit image for the spiritual aspirant, whose Avalokiteshvara-like compassion and Manjushri-like wisdom must be complemented by the development of Vajrapani-like power and skill. Bodhisattvas are like the mightiest of warriors, but their enemies are not common foes of flesh and blood. Their fight is with the inner delusions, the afflictions of self-cherishing and ego-grasping, those most terrible of demons that catch living beings in the snare of confusion and cause them forever to wander in pain, frustration, and sorrow. Their mission is to harm ignorance and delusion, never living beings. These they look upon with kindness, patience, and empathy, cherishing them as a mother cherishes her only child. They are the real heroes, calmly facing any hardship in order to bring peace, happiness, and liberation to the world. So in that context, this is the Bodhisattva Vajrapani. So we begin by reading the introduction on page 38. Excuse me, we need to do our opening prayers. So we'll do short prayers. So we go to page 5 and 6.
So just the short refuge prayer.
Just a short refuge prayer and bodhicitta. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. Sangye Chodang Soki Chonamwa Shangju Badu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Jinsoki Pe Sonamgi Drola Penshi Sangye Jupasho. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Manam kadam yam pe semchen she dewa dang dewe gudang tempa jurchi. Dug now dang du now gi gudang drawa jurchi. Dug now me pe dewa dang mi drawa jurchi. Ne ring cha dang mi dang drawe tang namla ne pa jorchi. The seven limb prayer. I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faithful mind to all Tathagatas in the 10 directions. Those who have already reached the Tathagata state, those who are reaching it at present, and those Tathagatas still to come. Through the power of Samantabhadra's prayers, may all Buddhas manifest vividly in my mind. I prostrate to them, multiplying my body as many times as there are atoms in each atom. I visualize as many Buddhas as there are atoms, surrounded by countless Bodhisattvas. Thus, all space is filled with Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. I praise all Buddhas through magnificent chanting, expressing the great ocean of their excellent qualities. To all Buddhas, I make offerings of various pure flowers, flower garlands of music, anointing oils, magnificent light, and fragrant incense. I make offerings to them of fine garments, perfume, and potpourri, piled high as Mount Meru and arranged in the most beautiful way. I visualize the highest and most extensive offerings and offer them with great faith to all Buddhas. I prostrate to the Buddhas and make offerings to them, following the deeds of the great Bodhisattva Samantabhadra. I confess to you, Buddhas, whatever negative actions I have committed, anger, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all the Buddhas in the 10 directions, of the great Bodhisattvas and Pratyeka Buddhas, those who have attained Arhatship, those who have entered the path to Arhatship, and all other beings. I request to all great protectors and Buddhas to turn the highest wheel of Dharma as the light dispelling the darkness of beings in the 10 directions and leading them gradually to the enlightened state. I supplicate those Buddhas intending to pass into parinirvana to live long for as many eons as there are.
In order to benefit all beings.
Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Meru, the supreme mountain, the 4 continents, and the sun and the moon. As a Buddha field, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha fields. To the lamas who possess the 3 kayas, I offer the outer, inner, and secret offerings with my body, wealth, and all that is visible. Please grant me the supreme realization, enlightenment. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. Om Guru Ratna Mandala Puja Mega Samudra Saparana Samaya Ahom. In Tibet, Sashi Bochu Jugme Totram Rirablin shi nihide kampadi. Sangye shin la mikte powayi. Jokun namdak shindu ke washo. Kusong yong so glame so namla. Chinang sang sum de shen yiki cho. Daglu long cho nakshi hong she la. La me chogi no ju sa du so. Chaksa wadang cho ching sa padang. Jesu yi rang ko sing so wai. Ge wa jung se da gi ji sak pa. Tam she so pe shang ju chi no. Om Guru Ratna Mandala Puja Mega Samudra Saparana Samaya Ahom. Unequaled refuge, ornament of the world. Your fame pervades the 3,000 worlds. You are the victor Vajradhara without a doubt. I bow at the feet of the Father Jigdan Sumgun. Continually I think of no one but you. Compassionate one, grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the unelaborated nature of mind. Kyabdrangi dome zamlingen, dragpe tong song yong la kyab. So me gawa dorje chan, pajik ten gompe shaladu. Du tak tu sam yu kyo le me. Jinji lov shik toje chan. Nyingi mon pa sal ne kang. Sam joja du to par jinji lo. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the two vehicles and their combination according to the disposition and likewise the mental capacities of sentient beings. Sam Chen Nam Gi Sampadang Lo Yi Je Dai Ji Tawa Che Chung Tong Mo To Pa Yi Choki Kolo Kordu So. Now I think it's page 37. 37, we see the image of Vajrapani. 38, we begin with the introduction. So we read out loud together. Introduction, Vajrapani, the demon conqueror. This deity, the Bodhisattva, is outwardly Buddha Shakyamuni, inwardly Vajrapani, and secretly Vajradhara. He holds the treasure of the secret teachings of the Buddhas of the three times. He is the embodiment of all tantric deities who manifest in many different forms to train sentient beings. Shakrasamvara is the body emanation, Mahamaya is the speech emanation, and Hevajra the mind emanation. Gyasamaja is the quality emanation, and Kala Chakra is the emanation. Therefore, this deity is the embodiment of all deities. In tantric texts, it is said, whoever sees my body will attain Buddhahood. Whoever hears my speech will attain joy, even in samsara. Whoever realizes my mind will bring any sentient being to enlightenment. Anyone who receives the empowerment of this deity and takes him as a yidam for regular practice will not be opposed by any evil spirits or entities, and eventually will attain the inseparability of the Vajra mind of all the Buddhas. Namo Guru Vajrapani Om Sobhava Sudha Sara Dharma Sobhava Sudhoham. The mode of abiding of all phenomena is itself pure openness. Sustain that nature. The visualization. Purify the confusion of grasping at the duality of samsara and nirvana, and meditate on the primordial purity of the all-pervading emptiness. From that state of emptiness arises a circle of Vajra fire mountains, in the center of which is a palm, which transforms into a lotus seat on which a ram transforms into a sun disk. On this is my own awareness in the form of a clear, dark blue home. This radiates light that purifies all sentient beings and is absorbed into the home, which transforms into the Lord of Secrets, the subduer of all demons and evil spirits. I am black in color, with one face and two arms. My right hand raises a five-pointed golden vajra. My left hand is in the heart of the subduing gesture, holding a vajra lasso. My right leg is bent, my left is upright. I exhibit the 9 wrathful expressions. My flame-colored hair blazes upward. I wear a tiara of 5 dry skulls and a garland of 50 fresh severed heads. I am adorned by 8 nagas. I wear a tiger skin skirt. I am engulfed in a blazing wisdom fire. At the 3 places are a white Om, a red Ah, and a blue Hum. From these, lights radiate and invite all the wisdom deities in the form of Vajrapani, who dissolve inseparably into me through the mantra Za, Hom, Bam, Ho. Light radiates from the hung at my heart, inviting the 5 Buddhas of empowerment into the sky in front of me. Go back to page 39, the visualization in Tibetan. Korde no chu no zen chola pam, done rang zen dag pe ton ni le. Son kor dorje me ri je pe ho. Pam le pa ma ram le nying me den. Rang re kontik sale wo cho pe. Don ni che te sur du yong le. Dag ni sang wei dag po jong po do. Go dog nag po sao chik cha ni pa. Ye pe sir ki dor je se na den. Yon pe tu kor dig zug dor zagnam. Zab ye kun zin yon kang dro nam dan. Ucha mar sur gandu lamer bar. Trokam ugen lompa do sachen. Ligu kigen daksham ze palu. Yeshe mi pom barwe lo nagin. Me sum kar omar hon tin le. Wocho rang dre ashe chen drang shen. Zahong bam ho ni su me par yor. War yang to ka kon le gozo tro. Wang La Ring Na Dukar Chandrakte. Om Bajra Pushpam Pratitsa Soha. Om Bajra Dupam Pratitsa Soha. Om Bajra Alokam Pratitsa Soha. Om Bajra Gande Pratitsa Soha. Om Bajra Vananiye Pratitsa Soha. Om Sarva Kabishi Kansatu Mam. The Buddhas of the Buddhas of empowerment hold vases of wisdom nectar with which they give the empowerment, reciting Om Sara Tadagata Abhishinkatu Samaya Shriye Hom. Thus, my body, voice, and mind are completely purified and filled with wisdom nectar, which overflows and forms ascobia as an ornament on the crown of my head, and all the Buddhas of empowerment dissolve into me. Back to the top of the page 41. Zol sol tape wang la ring na yi. Bum pa du si gang wa chak tu nam. Om sarva tada abhishakata samaya shriye hom. Wang ku tri dak chulak kan gile. Mi cho uken wang la tim. Om Bajra Argam Pratitsa Soha. Om Bajra Padyam Pratitsa Soha. Om Bajra Pushpam Pratitsa Soha. Om Bajra Dupam Pratitsa Soha. Om Bajra Alokam Pratitsa Soha. Om Bajra Gande Pratitsa Soha. Om Bajra Nui Deam Pratitsa Soha. Om Bajra Shapta Pratitsa Soha. The combined power and energy of all the Buddhas, the supreme holder of the treasure of the secret teachings, the subjugator of all the maras and obscures, without exception, I praise and homage to Vajrapani. Right? Deshe tu tob shik du shen, sangwa nangi zan zin cho. Duge malu zoze pa dorje shin la chaksha. So the way we hold the bell, it's our thumb and it's our middle finger and our ring finger on the back of the head of the Buddha. You see the image of the Buddha? And our thumb is just above the head like this. So that's really what's holding the weight of the bell. Then our index finger is balanced at the top of the Vajra. And then our little finger can be on the shoulder of the bell or back on the shaft right here of the bell. But it's really the weight is being held by our thumb and fingers like that. And we're ringing the bell like that. And then we're holding the Vajra at our heart like this. So this symbolizes the skillful means, the method of the masculine, and this represents the wisdom of the feminine. So together brings enlightenment. So here we are rejoicing, being happy, making a joyful sound for our mindfulness of that. Okay, the recitation now. At my heart is a home, surrounded by the mantra Om Vajra Pe, in black, circling clockwise, and radiating light that makes offerings to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Their wisdom, compassion, energy, and power return to me in the form of light and are absorbed. Again, light radiates to all sentient beings and purifies all phenomena. The suffering, obscurations, and diseases of all sentient beings in the six realms are completely purified, and those beings are established in the state of the Lord of Secrets. Thus accomplish all virtuous activities. The light then returns and is absorbed into the seed syllable and the mantra. Meditating in this way, recite the mantra as many times as possible. So we can visualize this card. So we see the picture of the image of Vajrapani, and in the center is the Hung syllable on a lotus pedestal here on the sun disk. So we can visualize this in our heart. And so therefore Vajrapani is at our heart, the Hung is at our heart. And as we recite the mantra, Hung Vajra Pe, we visualize that the mantra garland, the Vajra light, the syllables are going around in a clockwise direction. So here on the card, you can see Hung Vajra Pe written 4 times. So that is to remind us of the mantra going around in a clockwise. So we can visualize this, but we visualize that this is in our heart and the mantra garland is going around in all directions. We say the 10 directions, which are the 4 cardinal directions, east, south, west, and north, and then the intermediate directions, southeast, southwest, northwest, and northeast, and then up and down. So virtually it's a sphere that the light is going in all directions. So first, the light goes to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that are within ourselves. And from their blessings, from their hearts, it returns back to the home. And then from the home at our heart now that goes out to all beings, to visualize them as all Vajrapani. So now we recite this in Tibetan, bottom of page 42, and then we do the recitation. Trukar kunta na tren Yesu kor Wocho gyawa kuncho jin labdu Lar yang to ke gagle was a tro Dro tu chu jang sang dag salako Trin le tam che yong su ju pale Surdu na tren sabon che latin. Om Vajra Pe, 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 Om Vajra Pe. So just as a reminder, on the back of this card, you can see the translation. Om is the manifest bliss and emptiness. Vajra is the indestructible of the wisdom. The Hung be the wisdom of the manifest bliss and emptiness wisdom, and Pe being the purification. And the Hung is circling around the Hung at the heart, the indestructible to make magnificent, to make manifest. And Pani means in the hand. So we continue. Om Vajra Pe, 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 Om Vajra Pe,
Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe.
Om Vajra Pe, 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 Om Vajra Pe,
Om Vajra Pe,
Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe,
Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe.
and
Om
continue
Vajra
chanting.
Pe, Om
But if you
Vajra
need to
Pe,
refresh your
Om Vajra
visualization,
Pe, Om
don't hesitate to
Vajra
go
Pe,
back and read the
Om
mantra
Vajra Pe,
visualization
Om Vajra Pe,
and then join the
Om
mantra
Vajra Pe,
recitation again.
Om Vajra Pe,
Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajra Pe, Om Vajrapani, 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 Om Vajrapani,
Hum Vajrapani, Hum Vajrapani, Hum Vajrapani, Hum Vajrapani, Hum Vajrapani, Hum Vajrapani, Hum Vajrapani, Hum Vajrapani, Hum Vajrapani, Hum Vajrapani.
Om Vajrapani, 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 Om Vajrapani. Visualize your right hand holding the Vajra out like this, and your left hand in the protection mudra holding the lasso like this. So all beings tied up with Vajrapani, and his left hand, his right hand, power going out to purify. Om Vajrapani, 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 Om Vajrapani. Om Vajrapani, 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 Om Vajrapani. Like bees surrounding a beehive, buzzing. Om Vajrapani, 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 Om Vajrapani. Om Vajrapani, 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 Om Vajrapani. Om Vajrapani, 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 Om Vajrapani. Om Hanga Vajrapani, Om Hanga Vajrapani, Om Hanga Vajrapani, Om Hanga Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Om Vajrapani, 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 Om Vajrapani. Om Vajrapani, 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 Om Vajr Om 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 Bhajavaya 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 No Madra Baya, 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 Madra Baya. Om Vajrapani Sadhana. Om Vajrapani Om Vajrapani Om Om Vajrapani Om Vajrapani Om Vajrapani Om Om Vajrapani, 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 Om Vajrapani,
Om Vajrapani.
Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om
Om Vajrapani.
No Madre Bam, 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 Madre Bam,
Om Vajrapani.
No Madre Bam, 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 Madre Bam. Oh Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam,
Om Vajrapani.
Oh Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Oh Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam.
Om Vajrapani.
No Madre Bam, 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 No Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam. No Madre Bam, 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 Madre Bam.
Om Vajrapani.
No Madre Bam, 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 Madre Bam. Om Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Om Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam,
Om Vajrapani.
No Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam,
Om Vajrapani. Om
No Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam,
Om Vajrapani.
No Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam,
Om Vajrapani.
No Madre Bam, 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 Madre Bam,
Om Vajrapani.
No Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam,
Om Vajrapani.
No Madre Bam, Madre Bam, Madre Bam,
Om
Madre Bam, No Madre Bam, 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 Madre Bam. Hong Vajrapani, Hong Vajrapani, Hong Vajrapani, Hong Vajrapani, Hong Vajrapani. Stay in the 7-point posture, Varanchana, keep your back straight. Take a deep breath. Hold the breath. Exhale. Hold the breath. Take a deep breath. Hold it and raise your arms up over your head. Bring your hands together over the crown of your head. Look up between your hands at the ceiling and stretch. Stretch your arms, stretch your back, stretch your neck. Hold the breath. Exhale, release your arms. Exhale completely and hold the empty breath. Inhale, raise your arms up over your head. Stretch. Look through your hands at the ceiling. Hold the breath. Exhale, relax your arms. Hold the vacant breath. Breathe in again one more time. Breathe deeply. Raise your arms up over your head. Look between your hands at the ceiling and hold your breath. Exhale, release your arms. Exhale completely. Relax and breathe normal. And open your eyes. Take a short break. Get some water. Stretch, whatever you need to do. Any questions about the practice?
You know, it's funny with the visualizations. This is just a comment. Usually, it takes me a while just to get the mantra right, and then it isn't until about 3/4 in that the visualization actually starts to happen.
That's pretty normal, I think.
I think once you do the same practice a number of times, the visualization starts to come more quickly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the Chen Reisig practice, doing that every day.
Yeah. So when we were doing the praise, and then at the end you rang the bell, it sounded like you started ringing the bell before you finished.
No, it's not
Yeah,
precise.
It's not
Yeah.
precise, okay.
Yeah, there's no mistakes.
And if there are, that's why we do the purification at the end.
You just get to be born over again.
Oh, dang, Lance.
Man, he's harsh.
Dang, got to go through all this again.
How many times did it take you to get here?
Yeah,
And do you think you're going to reach perfection? It's a nice thought, right? We're working at it.
yeah, that's what we're doing. Huh?
Well,
Working
I
at it.
don't know, when I was doing some of the readings downstairs, the whatever the name of that stuff is, I started to get the feeling that these people were telling me over and over again, it's simple, it's so simple. All you have to do is this.
It's right there, right here. Uh-huh.
Just give up all of your attachments and aversions.
Clearing your heart mind. Like we said before, we're already enlightened. We just don't recognize it, because it's all blocked up. So we don't have anything to attain. It's already there. What we have to do is remove all those blockages, all those fantasies that our mind is generating.
Lifetime of habitual things. Those are the hard things to let go.
You know? Maybe we're closer now than ever before.
I would think that's true.
A countless eon.
What's that?
If we've been working on this for a countless eon. I think so.
Lance, I wanted to ask you about this. Thus, my body and mind are completely purified. And filled with wisdom,
What page are you on?
41, which overflows and forms Akshotaya,
Ascobia.
Ascobia,
Yeah.
as an ornament on the crown of my head. Ascobia.
Ascobia has a blue body, and his right hand is touching the earth, and his left hand is in meditative posture. And he is the head of the Vajra family, the head of the Vajra family, Ascobia, and he represents steadfastness. Ascobia means steadfastness. Here it is. Here I stand. Here is where I am. I am everywhere because I'm here.
Ascobia.
And his wisdom is the wisdom, the mirror-like wisdom, seeing all phenomena as appearances of the mind, all temporary appearances of the mind, contrived by the mind. Ascobia. Mhm. Okay, shall we resume? So let's go back to page 42, mantra recitation, to recharge our focus. At my heart is a home, surrounded by the mantra Om Vajra Pe, in black, circling clockwise and radiating light that makes offerings to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Their wisdom, compassion, energy, and power return to me in the form of light and are absorbed. Again, light radiates to all sentient beings and purifies all phenomena. The suffering, obscurations, and diseases of all sentient beings of the six realms are completely purified, and those beings are established in the state of the Lord of Secrets. Thus, accomplish all virtuous activities. The light then returns and is absorbed into the seed syllable and the mantra. Meditating in this way, recite the mantra as many times as possible. Back to the Tibet. Tokar hum tog dog tren Yesu kor Wocho gyawa kuncho jin lab tu La yang to ke gang le was a tro chu trip jang sang dang sa la ko Trin le tam she yong su dru pa le Sudu nak tren sa bon che la ten. Hom Vajra Pe, 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 Hom Vajra Pe.
Om Vajra Pe.
Say it with devotion. You are purifying all beings. You are Vajrapani, limitless, fearless, hold nothing back. Vajrape, Om 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 Vajrape,
Om Vajrape,
Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrape, Om Vajrapani, 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 Om Vajrapani,
Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani,
Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani,
Om Vajrapani,
Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani,
Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani,
Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om
Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani,
Om Vajrapani, Om
Om
Vajrapani,
Vajrapani,
Om Vajrapani,
Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani,
Om
Om
Vajrapani,
Vajrapani,
Om Vajrapani,
Om
Om Vajrapani,
Vajrapani,
Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani,
Om
Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om
Vajrapani,
Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani, Om Vajrapani. Now the dissolution. The wisdom of beings return to their natural state. Outer phenomena dissolve into the sentient beings who dissolve into me. I dissolve into the home in my heart. In its turn, it dissolves slowly from the bottom up into the all-pervading emptiness. Rest in the unobscured, uncreated state as long as possible. So we visualize the black hole that is in this image here. The black hole, yes.
Weren't we supposed to recite the Vajrasattva?
Oh, thank you very much. Yes. Go to page 88, please. So this is the 100 purification mantra of Vajrasattva. So this is in Sanskrit. We will read the English one time. You see the English below it. And then we'll recite the Sanskrit 3 times while ringing the bell. Om Vajrasattva Samaya. Help to protect my vow to purify myself. May you remain firm with me. Grant me the complete satisfaction. Grow with me. Be loving towards me. Grant me the attainments to master the powers beyond body and nature. Show me all the deeds of body, speech, and mind. Make my mind heart good, virtuous, and auspicious. Revel in the bliss of the 4 joys, O Blessed One, who embodies the essence within me. Do not abandon me. Grant me the realization of the indestructible nature. Make me one with you. Thus I signify my unity with non-duality. Ah. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Tenopa Jisadredo Me Bhava Suto Kayo Me Bhava Supo Kayo Me Bhava Anuraktu me bhava sarasiti me prayasa sarva karma sita me sitantriya kuruham. Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Saratada Gata Vajramani Munta Vajri Bhava Mahasamaya Sattvaha Om Vajra Sattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Sattva Tenopa Drista Dredo Me Bhava Suto Kayo Me Bhava Supo Kayo Me Bhava Anuraktu Me Bhava Sarasiti Me Prayasa Sara Karma Sutta Me Sitantriya Kuruham. Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Saratada Gata Vajramani Munsa Vajri Bhava Mahasamaya Sattvaha Om Vajra Sattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Sattva Tenopa Drista Dredo Me Bhava Suto Kayo Me Bhava Supo Kayo Me Bhava Anuraktu Me Bhava Sarasiti Me Prayasa Sarva Karma Sutta Me Sitantriya Kuruham. Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Saratada Gata Vajramani Munsa Vajri Bhava Mahasamaya Sattvaha. Back to where we were. I think that was what page. We were at page 43. So now the dissolution. So here we recite this and we visualize that the hung syllable, the instructions will tell us that the hung syllable rises from the bottom, as we have on this picture card here, rises from the bottom. The shabku goes into the main body of the ha. The ha goes into the roof of the ha. The roof of the ha then goes into the dashe, which is the crescent moon. The dashe then goes into the bindu, which is that sphere. And then the sphere goes into the nada string. The nada string is like a flame. And we focus on the nada flame until it fades and becomes invisible and fades into the emptiness, into the shunyata. And then we rest our mind and we catch a glimpse of the non-dual, unelaborated, non-objectifiable. It's resting our mind in Mahamudra. That Mahamudra is the Pure Land, the Buddha field of Vajrapani. This is called Shanglochen. Shanglochen is the name of the Buddha field of Vajrapani. Pure joy. Shanglochen. So now we recite in English and then in Tibet and then do the meditation. The wisdom beings return to their natural state. Outer phenomena dissolve into the sentient beings who dissolve into me. I dissolve into the hum in my heart. In its turn, it dissolves slowly from the bottom up into the all-pervading emptiness. Rest in the unobscured, uncreated state as long as possible. Yeshe panam rangzin me sushe dam shik no chu mi me ton pargyo. So we stay in the 7-point posture of Varanchana. Most important element is keeping our back straight. Our hands can be 4 inches below our navel, can be at our knees or any other position that is comfortable for you. Our shoulders back brings our hands into our abdomen. Our head tilted just a little bit forward, our chin pulled in towards our neck just a little bit. Eyes can be open or closed. They're open, they're at a gaze, not looking at anything, just several feet in front of us. They're closed. This is good at the beginning to avoid distractions. And our tongue and the roof of our mouth behind our front teeth. Just resting, breathing through our nostrils if we can. We have to breathe through our mouth. That's fine. Just open your mouth very slightly enough to be able to breathe properly. Take a deep breath, both nostrils, and hold it in the abdomen. Hold it. Bring the breath down below the navel. Exhale. Squeeze the abdomen. Squeeze all that stale negative air out. Breathe in one more time. Exhale. Breathe natural, your own pace. Just relax. We'll do a 10-minute meditation. The wisdom beings return to their natural state. Outer phenomena dissolve into the sentient beings who dissolve into me. I dissolve into the home in my heart. In its turn, the home dissolves slowly from the bottom up into the all-pervading emptiness. Rest in the unobscured, uncreated state as long as possible. Deep breath. Hold it 4 inches below the navel. Expand your belly. Exhale, squeeze the belly against the diaphragm, pushing against the lungs. Push all that stale, negative, dark air out and hold the breath. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in deeply. Exhale completely. Relax, breathe normal, open your eyes. And it says at the bottom of page 43, then arise as the Lord of Secrets and recite the dedication prayers. So we transform into Vajrapani. The dedication. Through the virtue of this practice, may I achieve Vajrapani's great realization. And to this state, may I come to lead every sentient being, not one left behind. Kewa di nor du dag, song wei dag po ju pyun. Trowa chi kyang malupa, di sala do pa sho. So it says, if you wish, you may say other prayers as well. Then, with confidence in yourself as Vajrapani, enter into the 4 actions. The 4 actions are eating, walking, sleeping, and conducting your business. That completes the Veda Yoga practice of Vajrapani. Does anybody have any questions or comments before we do our lineage dedication prayers?
About the Bodhisattva, actually, I think I'm missing the last couple of lines. My last line is make me one with you in the English translation.
Oh, really? Oh, it
Yeah.
didn't print out? 88.
No, if you don't have thus signify.
Right, it just ends make me one with you. That's the last I got.
But you won't, then it should say, does it have the blue hung at the bottom?
It does.
Huh. Okay. Well, it says, thus I signify my unity with non-duality, then a hyphen, exclamation point.
You have yours, right? Yeah.
That gives-
So we go to page 157. And just for the sake of reminding people and maybe introducing those who are not aware, the lineage lamas are the founders of the Kagyu lineage, this lineage, which is the lineage of the yogis. And on the left-hand side of this page, page 156, you see these are what we refer to as the lineage masters. So at the very top of the picture is Vajradhara or Dorje Chang. So he is so pure, he is the unborn primordial Buddha. who is in the heart of all beings, in the heart of all the enlightened ones. So pure, unborn in human form. So not contaminated in any way. So that's Vajradhara at the top. Then to the left of him, or to his left, is Tilopa. And Tilopa was a great yogi, and his student was Naropa, who is opposite him on the right side at the top, is Naropa. Naropa was a great scholar at Nalanda University who needed to recognize his true nature. He was holding on to his teachings. He was holding on to the things that he had learned, and they became an attachment for him. He had to let those go. So he was instructed to find his teacher, who was Tilopa, who taught him how to liberate himself. So then in the middle on the left is Marpa, who was the student of Naropa. And Marpa was the first of the Tibetan great masters. The other two, Tilopa and Naropa, were Indian from India. Marpa was a translator who would travel down to India to get the teachings from Naropa and then bring them back to Tibet to translate them in Tibetan so that other beings could practice and so on. Then his greatest student was opposite him on the right side is Milarepa. And Milarepa is considered to be the saint of Tibet. He went through many changes, and he had been a murderer who did terrible things, a magician, a black magician, who was, and he realized that he was wrong, went to Marpa, and Marpa helped Milarepa to purify himself. And then Milarepa then became enlightened in his lifetime, in a single lifetime. So he becomes the saint to all beings, to be able to symbolize that all beings can do terrible things in their lives, but yet can still be liberated and attain enlightenment in their single lifetime. So Milarepa had many students. His greatest student was Gampopa on the bottom left, who was a physician who had great skills and so on. All the teachings at this point, up to this point, many of the teachings were done orally from one teacher to another. And there were different traditions that were being followed. And so Milarepa thought it important to be able to consolidate those into one book that people could follow. So he instructed his student Gampopa to write that book, which is called the Jewel Ornamental Liberation. And that's the first of what's called the Lam Rim texts, which are the stages of liberation or the stages of the path. So it's an instruction manual on how to attain Buddhahood. So Gampopa then had many students, and his most prominent student was on the bottom right is Pagmadrupa, who was a great monastic, and he had 500,000 monastics come through his monastery. And what he was able to do was to take the teachings of Milarepa and Gampopa and the Kagyu masters as the yogis and institutionalize them in the monastery and show that both could be accomplished. So he had many great students, many great leaders came out of that, many traditions, many lineages came out of that. And in the center is Jigden Sumgun, Lord Drikungpa Jigden Sumgun, who is the founder of our lineage. He was one of Pagmadrupa's great students, and he founded our lineage in Drikung, which was a village in Tibet. And that's why the name Drikung Kagyu. So he's called the Drikungpa, the man who comes from Drikung. That's what that means. So he's the Lord Drikungpa, Lord Jigden Sumgön. So Jigden Sumgön founded this lineage, and that was 800 years ago. And he further articulated the path of practice for beings. He cut through so much of the how do you say, dogma, and said, here it is, here, very clear, here are the pith instructions, very clearly, and so on. So he taught, and books were transcribed in his behalf. And so at one time, Drikung Kagyu tradition was the most popular, was the largest all through Tibet at one time. And that has since changed, but nevertheless. So these are the Kagyu masters that we talk about. So yes,
Question, there are other Kagyu lineages, right?
yes,
So do they share part of this lineage?
yes.
Okay, but they branch off at some point.
Yes, generally with after Pagmadrupa,
Mhm.
and some before that, because Atisha was part of that lineage, was part of the Kagyu lineage before Pagmadrupa. So Atisha was a contemporary of Gampopa. So a lot of people were following him and so on. The Sakya tradition came out and followed that too. And they both came out of the Nyingma, which is the lineage of the ancients, of the oldest in Tibet. Okay, so we recite in English. Dorje Chang, Talopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Dharma Lord Gampopa, Pagma Drupa, and Lord Drikungpa. Please bestow upon us the most auspicious blessing of all the Kagyu Lamas. By this virtue may I achieve omniscience. By defeating all enemies, confusion. May all who travel on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind. Where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray that the Lama may have good health. I pray that the Lama may have long life. I pray that your Dharma activities spread far and wide. I pray that I may not be separated from you. As Manjushri, the warrior, realized the ultimate state, and as did Samantabhadra, I will follow in their path and fully dedicate all merit for all sentient beings. By the blessings of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging Dharma as such, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit I share bear fruit. By the virtues collected in the three times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate word of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of the great Trikumpa Ratna Shri, who is omniscient, Lord of the Dharma, master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara. Next page, these are the long life prayers for the living masters. For this realm, encircled by the snow-covered mountains, you are the source of every benefit and bliss without exception. Tenzin Gyatso, you are one with Avalokiteshvara. May you remain steadfast until samsara's end. Embodiment of the three precious jewels, Padmapani, who holds the teachings of the victorious one, seeing the all-goodness meaning with the wisdom eye. May you who are spontaneously established activities live long for hundreds of kalpas. Noble Manjushri, the Lord of speech, who manifests to hold the teachings of the triple gem, who raises the lamp of the sage's teachings. May you, or the light of the Dharma, live long for hundreds of kalpas. Next page. The one known in the Holy Land as Aryadeva, emanated into the Gar clan of eastern Tibet as Jodingpa, the heart son of Jigden Dzongden. May the life of the glorious Garchin remain steadfast for 100 eons. In this age of strife, when the victor's teaching faces hardship, through his powerful Vajrapani conduct, he takes on himself the heavy responsibility of the unbiased teachings. May Garchin, the son of the teachings, live long. Om, Ah, Hum. Om, Ah, Hum. Om, Ah, Hum. May my body, speech, and mind become inseparable with the body, speech, and mind of all the enlightened ones for the benefit of all sentient beings. Very good. Thank you all very much for joining us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. That was a sweet surprise. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Would you like me to leave everything here or you take it?
Yeah, we'll
downstairs?
take care of it. Yeah, we'll take care of it. Thank you.
You wanna keep this paper?
Yes, you can keep whatever you like. Yeah.
Let's take a look at those books again. So I can let you know.
Thank you. Oh, Tommy hasn't looked at those books.
Okay, well, by all means.
Should we turn this one too? I never remember bringing my.
Uh,
Oh,
You
my
okay?
legs.
Yeah.
Just stretch a little bit.
I know. Take your time. Take your time.
And thanks Sister Bao for being patient, but she was in the shrine
No,
room and
actually,
enjoying herself.
She's reading, there's so many interesting books.
Yes.
And yeah, so she used this time to read, which is good for her.
Okay, good. Oh, thank you.
Now we gotta unwind, get up.
Oh,
Volunteer your explanation instead of silence.
I'm surprised there isn't like creaking and popping.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you stack those and stack the cushions and stack the mats.
Hey, Tommy, if you go into Vajra publications, all those books have been reissued. They were stopped.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well,
you can only-
because they're supposed to be only taught through.
I guess, who was the original publisher?
Vajra publication.
And then they stopped it.
Right. They kind of went defunct for a while and then it's been resurrected.
Yeah. So,
And this
yeah.
explains the iconography. Exactly what we're looking for.
I know I made a project out of painting found cuts.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So
Oh, look,
That book,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Oh, yeah, it shows the skill. Yeah, there's a whole way in which it's done. A protocol.
I found someone who does make tonkas online, and yeah, they use talking. On the website.
You don't freehand it.